All right, so as I said last week, I have a surprise this week. What is the one thing that most writers struggle with? Don't know? Writer's block. So today, I'm going to go over how I deal with writer's block. There's been times where I have not touched a book in months. Why? Because I got writer's block with it. So you can't really write much if you don't have inspiration, right? Sometimes writer's block can happen at the most interesting times. Sometimes it can be while you take a shower, on your drive home, in the grocery store, even in the gym. All these places can be a place where you can unblock your writer's block, okay? Sometimes you just have to watch a movie. You know, I remember one time I watched a movie and it had nothing to do with the book I was writing at the time. Nothing to do with it. But somehow it hit inspiration. Okay? Sorry, but the tub, I thought I made it, yeah. Hang on, honey bun. Come here. We're having bath time right now. Sorry. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So, I remember one time I was watching a movie, and again, it had nothing to do with the book I was writing, but there was something in that moment that made me have, like, I guess, like, it was like an epiphany of, like, oh my gosh, why did I not think of that before? So, yeah. Writer's block happens to everybody. I mean, hell, my Mafia series, there's like one book in it I haven't even touched like in like 3 months because I'm like, okay, where else can this go? I don't know. Okay? Also, something else that also helps with writer's block is reading other books. Books that might be like yours. You know, where maybe it's a mafia genre or a rom-com genre, and you're reading it and you're like, oh my god, I just got an amazing idea. You can run with it. I've had a few times where I've read books and just reading other books undid my writer's block. Because I'm like, wow, out of nowhere. And obviously, you know, when that happens, you gotta hurry up and get to the computer. Like, now. Everybody knows that once the writer's block is done and the floodgates open, you gotta be prepared for what comes. Everybody knows that. Okay? Especially in the writing world. Everybody's gotta be prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, when it comes fast. Or at least for me, it does. So, yeah. There's different ways to deal with writer's block. But I will tell you this. Here's a little piece of advice for this. The more you dwell on it, the longer it stays. Ask me how I know. But that's been my experience. The longer I have dwelled on it, like if I was working on a book and I was getting frustrated beyond belief and I couldn't walk away, my writer's block would just stay there longer. It got to the point where I had to like tell myself it's okay to just leave it be for now and come back later. And again, the writer's block would go away. But sitting there and dwelling on it just makes it worse. And I know, like, you know, when we get into something and we make a due date for ourselves, we want to stick to that published date. It's okay to not stick to your published date. It is okay. I can't tell you how many times I push books back because they're just not ready or I'm not ready. And it's okay for you not to be ready either for that. In fact, we'll talk about that next week. We'll go over like mental health and writing and how that kind of goes together. But back to this topic. There goes my ADHD kicking in. Okay, it's a thing. You got to stick with me. I'm sorry. So just back away from the book. Back away. Go to the grocery store. Do your usual things. Maybe you're folding laundry. You know? There was one time I can't remember what I was doing. I was like, God, what was I doing? It was something to do with like a boat. maybe I was looking at boats, like by the sea. Because, you know, living in South Florida basically is by the sea. So I didn't live that far from the beach. And sometimes I would walk it, you know. And I remember just kind of like watching this boat just kind of like drive by. And all of a sudden I got this inspiration to write a yacht scene. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to run with this. I'm going to run with it. So yeah. Has that book been published? No. Is it still sitting in my to be published? Yes. But in that moment, that was the book I was working on, because I work on multiple books at once. But in that moment, I got inspiration. I was just sitting there watching a boat go by or something like that. And it just hit me. I'm like, why is there no yacht in my book? I need to write a yacht scene, because that's what it's missing. Because you can have like a moment between the characters and you're like, okay, where does this moment take place? What does it look like? Well, in that moment, like in that, I knew what I wanted to take place, but I didn't know where. So I thought of the yacht. Why? Just because I was watching a boat go by. And not even a yacht. It was like a normal like charter fishing boat. Like, you know, not a yacht. But I remember like watching it or whatever. Maybe it was out there in the ocean. It was like doing the charter fishing or whatever. But I was watching it. And that's when it hit me. I'm like, this scene should take place on a boat. And then I'm thinking to myself, what am I not thinking of that before? But again, it's little things like that that can just trigger inspiration. Yeah. It can even be conversations you have with people. And you're like, oh my gosh, I just thought of an amazing scene. Hold that thought. And then you go in and you know. Also, when I get inspiration and I'm not near my computer, I'll use the notes section of my cell phone. That's another good place. So definitely, just breathe. Just breathe. That's all I can tell you is just breathe. And walk away when it's needed. Because like I said, the more you dwell on that, the worse it's going to be. And think of just think of a simple conversation you've had with somebody. You can get inspiration from that to finish a scene or to even write a scene. You know, you don't have to have like this amazing like aha moment to get you out of it. You just need a little bit of that moment. Just a tiny bit where it's like, oh, hang on. You know, I think everybody expects it to be like this insane moment that happens where it's like, oh my God, I just thought of something. Not all the time. Not all the time. But I will say the parts that I've struggled with, and I've gotten over the writer's block just from like randomness or whatever, like going to the gym or going to the grocery store, I have been like, oh my God. I have had those moments. So yeah. Look at everyday life. That's where you end your writer's block. So yeah, if you like what you hear, make sure you click subscribe and obviously like the video. And I will see you guys next week when we talk about writing and mental health, because it is a thing. I'll see y'all next week.